Oh, hello. Okay. Last one. My name's Wes Hamilton. Artificial intelligence chose this outfit for me. I just want everybody to know that, so I'll just keep going. But let's talk about, Web3, as my opinion, is the next thing. It is the next level of the internet. We talk about Web3, we talk about, back when HTML was around, when it first came out, you didn't hear many people say, well, I got this through HTML. They say I got it through the internet, through data. And the protocol was HTML. So, I mean, there's several protocols, and the moral of the story is that data is always what we're trying to transfer and use. Data is the greatest commodity man's ever made. I mean, if you think about this, it's bigger than oil, it's bigger than gas. I mean, just think about all the industries that are connected through data. And then you look at the projections. I mean, how much is data going to grow? And by 2025, I mean, look at the chart here that explains the explosive growth in data. Now, that just doesn't mean crypto. That doesn't mean Web3. That doesn't mean any other things, but just raw data. So I guess that's what I'm trying to get across here, is that, we look at different phases. Everybody talks about the 10-year cycles and all that stuff. But the bottom line is it's always some sort of data, some sort of code. And where does this code come from? And what gives this energy, as we may say, value? So, if you look up here, right now in the current situation with the current internet and the things, you have your cloud servers, you have nodes, definitely because the edge has made things a lot more, especially with COVID. If you think about it, back when COVID hit, a lot of your data came from the big cities. So people would drive into the big cities for work, and they had really high-speed connectivity there, so they were able to do a lot more with data than they could from their home. So then COVID comes around, everybody starts working from home, and then they discover, they're like, wow, I can do all this stuff from my house. I don't really need to go in, because just like the state of Kentucky, we just spent $1 billion on fiber upgrade in the state of Kentucky. So my argument was, well, that's good and all, but what does that mean? Are we just going to be able to shop faster on Amazon? I mean, what are the use cases for data? And I think that's when you get a real value for what you're talking about. And again, this is the acceptance of a consumer in a business. This gives value to data. If a business does what the app's supposed to do, then it's an acceptance of trust. The size and the reliability of the company. I mean, when you talk about Microsoft and you say data, you instantly believe anything is the gospel. I mean, because of their size, they put a lot of research and development in everything they do. And then we talk about the infrastructure, obviously the internet for financial banking. The crypto, sending crypto to each other. How does that data get transferred? Most of it's fiber, some through cellular, wireless. So there's a lot of different things, and I'm not going to go through all this. So you guys are all part of data. This stuff. But why is it accepted? And and let's look at one specific use case. MasterCard, for instance. Why is MasterCard worth what it's worth? What makes it? And this is when we get into proof of stake and proof of work stuff. But if you think about the infrastructure behind MasterCard, you've got all these point of sale units, you've got all these data centers behind it, you've got security, you've got the physical part of a credit card is what makes it worth what it is as a company. You can't, and there's a reason why there's American Express, there's MasterCard, there's Visa. You can't recreate the infrastructure that they've already created. So if you look at that on the Web3 infrastructure, that's the kind of things that we're looking at, is that the movement of data could honestly be more important than what we're using the protocols, because protocols change all the time. It's always changing. But the infrastructure and the binary code that is the machine language on the bottom line never does. That's the interface. And then, like the debit card, again, you see like Delta by American Express, you see banks with MasterCard. And then here's some other ones. You got PayPal, which I'm sure everybody's heard of. You got Venmo. That's big in the States. I think last year when I did the research on this, Venmo did $270 billion in transactions from transferring money back and forth between people. And then you got the old SWIFT network. That thing's been around since 1970s. If you had to do an ACH from one bank to another to transfer money, then they're going to use the old SWIFT network. And then obviously you got Bitcoin. Now all these are examples of a use case that data is being used for. Then we get to Web3. What is Web3? And there's a lot of different definitions, and I think sometimes it gets lost in what protocol that it exists on. And blockchain's important, yes, but there's going to be all kinds of other things that make Web3 what it is. Artificial intelligence that's going to be involved with Web3. I mean, think about this. I'm coming to Georgia, and if my artificial intelligence that is living in my laptop, I just have to say I'm going to Georgia. Well, it might book some golf for me. It might book me the dinner because of all the data that it has gained throughout all of my searches, through all of my purchases. It knows all this. So the artificial intelligence part of the Web3 is going to be a huge, huge game changer. And I'm not going to read this big long, but it is going to incorporate blockchain and artificial intelligence. What's some of the benefits that it does with data? It protects private information of the user, so no longer, like when you're on the web right now, have you ever been driving and you and your friend are talking about, let's say, a good place to go eat, and then you look down at Facebook or you look down at your phone, and all of a sudden you get pop-ups from this type of information. Now, that's pretty scary, really. I mean, it's listening to what we say. And it's not a person, it's artificial intelligence. And then also, it allows us to interact with the AI. So again, if I'm wanting to do something or plan something, I no longer, it's kind of like it would be like my mother. So she knows everything I like because she's been around me my whole life. So if I want to do certain things, this AI already knows what I like, and it can plan and design. Just like I said, it bought this outfit. No, I'm just kidding. But but the big thing that I'm scared to death about, and I've had some discussions with people, is the way it communicates. I don't know if you heard the thing with Facebook when they had to shut the chat bots down because they started communicating in a language that they didn't know what it was. And that's basically machine language. So if you have microchips inside of a computer that can speak to each other through plus 5 volts and 0 volts, basically binary code, what does that mean Web3 is going to do? That's pretty scary, because if I told my AI to circumvent a lot of security measures and it doesn't have a set of rules to follow, the only reason we have operating systems is to create a set of rules. And if AI doesn't have rules, we're in trouble. And this is why I put the tic-tac-toe board up. There was a movie one time in the 70s called War Games. And they basically had to teach AI that you can't win at tic-tac-toe. And it finally shut the system down because it was like, I can't win. And if you think about blockchain is tic-tac-toe to Web3. It doesn't have a winner. It can't be hacked. So it's incredibly important that we can create a set of rules that it can't go around or circumvent. So that's what I think the current thing is heading to. And that's why we created ETHit. We want to take advantage of data, and we want to do something ethical and have a lot of social impact in what we do. So we created our own layer 1 blockchain, and we call it ETHit. It actually stands for Every Time Hero is There. And it's just a peer-to-peer way. The app actually acts like Venmo and PayPal. You can send funds back and forth to each other, just as easy as what you could with, I don't know what app that they use around here instead of Venmo, but I know everybody knows what PayPal is. And I'm going to, I guess, talk about how we are better. I mean, if you think about the way tokens and things are created, everybody's crow's blacker than the other person's crow. My blockchain's better because of this, my blockchain's better because of that. But what we're trying to do is do social impact. And as far as home alarm systems go, this is how we are able to integrate our data into a decentralized network. And the way we do that is we take home alarm systems. In the U.S., right now there's about 20 million alarm systems that are in homes for people. And the average payment is about $50 a month. It's $49.99 per month. It's quite a bit of money, but in America, the crime rate's kind of tough, and everybody needs that kind of thing. So what we did was, instead of those people paying for it, we selected a group of heroes. And these heroes are police officers, firefighters, teachers, even the bus driver inside of a school system. It doesn't matter. They get a free alarm system, so they don't pay anything. The $50 a month is nothing to them. The installation is nothing to them. We signed a police officer up the other day. He was paying $69.99 per month, and after he didn't pay anything. So we saved him a considerable amount of money by allowing him to get the free system. And then the next thing is, well, how do you guys do it for free? Well, the way we do it for free is, in exchange for this alarm system that we're putting in people's houses, they give us their electricity and their internet. So we put a small node inside their home. It is 200 watts. So it increases their electricity bill by maybe $5-6 a month, whatever that is. But in exchange, our ETHit blockchain rides on this node. So the hero gets a free system, saving a tremendous amount of money, and we get the access to run our blockchain through their internet and their electricity. And there's the box. If you look at the ASIC, it's about as big as a box of napkins. So it's not very big at all, and it's wireless. So we're trying to give out probably 5,000 to 10,000 of these systems per month. And if we can get to even 10,000, 20,000 decentralized nodes out in the environment, we'll become one of the largest decentralized networks in the world. I mean, ADT has 8 million customers. If we can just get to 100,000, 500,000, maybe 1 million, think about 1 million decentralized nodes and miners on a network that everything has a public IP. The security level behind that is going to be unbelievable. DDoS attacks are going to be unheard of because we're so decentralized. So our security level is off the chart. And then we call it the home is where the hash rate is. Not only does our machine mine our token and is a blockchain for our token, we also do Ethereum Classic. So it's a dual miner. So the data that it collects is not only the algorithm for ETC, but it also is for ours. It's 400 mega hash. So we go to the next one, and the benefits of our network. Again, it's decentralized, and it's the electricity, the carbon footprint that it would create is nothing compared to some of the larger Bitcoin miners in the world. If you think about some of those guys, they're doing 1 gigawatt of power, which the carbon footprint behind that is amazing, was astronomical. With this, we are decentralized and we spread out all over the U.S., so our carbon footprint is practically nothing. And with that being said, we go back to how we fund this, and we just ask people to basically use our app instead of PayPal and Venmo and whoever payment processors that they're using right now to send money back and forth to their friends. We just want them to use us. because the same app that turns the alarm system on and off is the same app that you can send money back and forth to each other. So if the grandmother's at the house and she has a daughter in college and she wants to send her $50 on the same app that she activates her alarm system every single night, she can send her granddaughter $50. And you know, that's back when I talked about how much Venmo did, $270 billion last year. That's how we get funded. So we're just asking people to switch to us. And the other really cool thing is, like in our app, when you use it, there'll be a picture of a veteran might pop up that says, thank you for supporting my medical pendant. Or a teacher would pop up and says, thank you for protecting my home while I'm educating your children. So it's a huge ESG statement that we're giving back, because you know, if you did the math on it, at $49.99 per month is what the average cost for an alarm system is. If we can get to say 1,100,000 customers, then that's $40 million a month, $49 million that we're giving back to a demographic of heroes. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to do ESG. So I'll open it up to any questions, because I know we're all trying to get to the party. So does anybody have any questions? Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your speech. I just have a question. You're talking about decentralization, but actually it's your ASICs. You just put them in different locations, so actually you control them.
That's actually not actually correct, because the people that buy the ASIC, I think I did it back on this one, that one. If you purchase the ASIC from us, then you own the ASIC. We're just putting it in our network. It's your equipment, but it rides through the network of people that we communicate with. So your wallet goes to you. So if you have an Ethereum Classic wallet, that wallet will be put inside that machine, not mine. And the way, we're not going to sell ETHit on the public market, because we want people to buy the equipment to make the network bigger and stronger. So the only way you can get our token is to buy the equipment and mine through our pool. And that incentivizes people to buy more equipment to keep growing our network and helping people out. So. No, well, there's two clients. He said that means the client only has one ASIC. That's true for the security people, because they don't get any of the money, any of the crypto. The people that buy the ASIC, the investor, let's say that you had a grandfather that was in the military and you bought 30 of these ASICs and you said, ETHit, I want you to deploy these machines only in veterans' homes. Then we would deploy all of them, and those veterans get free systems. They get the free life alert. All this, they don't pay for it, but all the crypto that's created is going to your wallet. It passes straight to you, not me. So we do that to make sure it's transparent. Mm-hmm. Currently, we're just launching in the U.S. Yeah, until we get the blockchain up and going, because right now we've only deployed about 1,000 systems. So we're working to make sure we get enough nodes and decentralized to protect the money transfer mechanism that we're going to have with ETHit. Oh, well, that's okay. Oh, you want to get it? Let's see. Well, I had more, but again, I'm just, any other questions?
I think you mentioned this yesterday, but just wanted to clarify. So the way you guys make money is through the transfer, like Venmo, right? Yeah, just checking.
Yeah, that's a big market. So if we can get a little bit of that. And then also that makes ETHit worth more. So on our website, the value of ETHit is based upon the app, and we show you a formula of how many people use our app, how much money they've transferred between each other, and the money that it's generated. So anybody that participates and purchases the equipment, then you could come back to our website and look at our formula, and then we would buy those tokens back from you at the current revenue price.
Is the app both fiat and crypto compatible?
It's and that's the cool thing. That's what I was saying earlier about data, is that we don't even, the older grandmother doesn't need to know that it's even crypto. She doesn't care. She just wants to send her granddaughter $50. So that's the whole thing about Web3. We're trying to make this to where it's just a tool. You know, the protocol of crypto, the protocol of blockchain needs to just be behind the scenes. You know, it goes back to what I was saying about HTML. I mean, when we first started HTML, we didn't say I'm HTMLing, I'm cruising the internet, you know. So, I mean, it's the same thing about Web3. You're not going to say I'm doing blockchaining, you know, you're going to say I'm on Web3, so, or the internet. I guess that's it.
Thank you very much,
Let's go
Wesley.
drink.